Sauce Got Jokes. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's see, so you've never been here before?
Never.
Okay, what are your first impressions? How are you feeling?
It's a nice chill vibe, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I can come here and do some work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, whenever I gotta do work on, like, my laptop or something, I don't like to be at home.
Same.
I get distracted very easy, but I can come in here, sit down, and just chill and be productive, you know?
Absolutely.
So I like the vibe. It's nice and chill.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you get to drink?
I got a mocha latte, you know what I'm saying? Just because I'm very simple, boring, if you will. You know what I'm saying? You can't go wrong with the mocha latte. So I'm gonna see what it's hitting for.
Nice, nice. I got myself a little Turkish coffee.
Okay.
And then I got us this really yummy little chocolate mosaic cake. It's one of my favorite little desserts that they had.
You trying to get me with the diabetes? You know what I'm saying? Dang, this thing kind of thick though.
It's
Hold
thick.
up.
Yeah, it's thick with 2 C's. Look how tiny it is.
I see this little ass cup. Let me eat this. Let's see.
See how you feel? Perfect.
That shit good. It took some effort to chew.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? It took some effort to chew, but I like it.
Yeah, it'll take your fillings out.
This latte
Yes,
here
let's
for.
do that. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Oh, they say they got a little pretty little design.
Pretty
on
little
that.
design.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir. And I like that it's not piping hot to the point where it will burn my mouth.
You don't typically do iced coffee. Your go-to is always hot.
Yeah. Cause iced coffee is for losers. Drink it hot like a real nigga. You know what I mean?
I always drink my coffee hot, like year
Like
round.
a real nigga. Yeah.
That's what they always say. That's what they always say. Well, Sauce, tell me about yourself. How long have you been doing comedy?
I've been doing comedy for a little over 7 years. It was 7 years in January. So yeah. I wouldn't sit here. I'm not gonna toot my horn like, oh, I'm a pro. Like, of course, I'm a professional, but I'm not like. I've seen tenured guys who's been doing it for 10 plus years. I'm not there yet, but I ain't no spring chicken either. I mean, I've been around the block a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, and I'm liking your setting. I'm liking your segment. Like year 5, we're starting to pick up steam a little bit. Year 6, I was just coasting, but now I can see, like, I can start to see things align, and it's like, it's intentional. Like as far as like, I'm gonna do this, so I put forth the effort to do this, and then it comes to fruition. I'm like, oh, I did that. Like a couple years ago, I would do something like, nigga, how did I do that? Like it was like an accident. Like how did that even happen? But now it's very much intention. You know what I mean? So I like that.
I'm a couple years behind you, and I'm definitely in that, like, I have no idea how this is happening, but it's happening phase of my career.
Yeah.
So it's good to know that at some point you start to kind of like know what you're doing.
I'm gonna get down chewing this thick ass cake.
I feel like a really boss ass bitch with my tiny cup.
As you should.
I do feel
And then
like,
it matches your outfit too.
Yeah,
Like it goes all to get the whole
it's a
ensemble.
whole motif. It's a whole thing. How did you get started doing comedy?
I always wanted to do comedy, but I didn't know that I always wanted to do comedy. I knew I wanted to do something. I can go back to my earliest memories with comedy. It's like my family, we would watch like Comic View, like on the living room TV and stuff, and like it was so fucking funny. Like, as a kid, I was looking at it, but then I had this little small town mentality of like, that's what famous people do. I can't do that. And then when I was 27 years old, I literally was just driving. And then one day I was like, I haven't lived any of my dreams yet. And I'm almost 30. So I was like, I searched my database in my head, like, what have I always wanted to do? And I was like, stand up. I've always wanted to try that. I found an open mic. I spent maybe a month to come up with some jokes. I went out to that open mic and I ate a bag of dicks. It was horrible.
It's a rite of passage.
It was horrible. Like I was nervous. I had like the nervous sweats and highs. I was stumbling over my words. I was tucked like this. And I did it. And then after I left, I was driving home and I was like, that was real pussy of me. You know what I mean? Because I've never been one for stage fright or any of that. So I was like, but this one particular time, I had stage fright. Like, what's going on? So I went back the very next week, same jokes, everything, but I performed it with confidence, killed. And I've been doing it ever since.
That is something that I've noticed about your stand-up. I would say that your vibe is so confident. Like you have, for sure, big hoop energy on the inside. Absolutely. And I admire it so hard. Like every time you go on stage, the first thing you say is like, what's happening?
What's happening?
And then when the audiences give you the response that you want, you'll be like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And you get them so in sync with you so quick.
So here's the thing. It's kind of like a call and response thing. I say, what's happening? That's my catchphrase, everybody. And I say, no. repeat after me, what's happening? So basically that breaks down all the monotony in the room and gets everybody on the same page. So it's like, what's happening? So everybody in the room, they stopped what they was doing and now it's like, what's happening? They're tuned into the stage. So a lot of people think I'm just up there just saying it because it's fun, which it is, but it's actually a part of the whole stratagem that I'm going in with.
It almost reminds me of like teachers who walk into a room that's like really loud and they'll just be like, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. And then everyone's like,
exactly. I'm loud, so
yes.
so when people be having their side conversation, I just yell at them.
Were you this volume whenever you first started?
Yeah, I've always been loud, but I wasn't loud with intention.
Yeah.
I was just loud just to be loud. But now you learn comedy, you learn different things. You learn when to bring the octaves up, when to bring it down and everything. So now I can kind of control when to be like super loud or, so does that make sense?
Yeah. After your first open mic, do you remember where it was?
Art Bar. Shout out to the Art Bar in Columbia, South Carolina. They do it every Tuesday. Y'all should pull up to the Art Bar. Yep, they gave me my first shot. And I love the Art Bar. So, yeah.
That reminds me, I always assume everybody starts their comedy career in Charlotte. That's not always the case. You started in Columbia.
Yeah.
How long were you doing comedy in Columbia before you moved to Charlotte?
About three-ish years. Yeah.
So in those first 3 years, were you kind of going to mics every week? What was your cadence with like practicing?
So in Columbia, we only had one mic,
Okay.
and that was the Art Bar.
Okay.
So I would say this, and I say this to a lot of Charlotte comedians. Columbia's scene is way smaller, but per capita, the comedians are funnier. And the only reason I say that because we didn't have a lot of opportunities. So we're gonna do what we can, and when it comes to that Tuesday, we're gonna give it our all because then we gotta wait a whole other week to go do comedy again. And out here in Charlotte, we can do comedy almost every night, sometimes twice a night. So it's like, oh, they didn't go too well, I can go to the next one. Do the next one, I go to the next one. So it was almost like a scarcity mentality, like this is my only shot I'm gonna get. So I gotta lay it all out right now. And we would bark for shows and all type of stuff. Go like, hey, we got a comedy show, blah blah. I came here, and some people didn't know what barking was. I was like, you motherfuckers, so spoiled.
That's true.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do see you at like mics sometimes do that, like Gail's mic and Noda.
Yeah, because that's the perfect place to bark.
It really is.
That's all that walking traffic. Then let's go bark right now. We want people in here, or we just want to perform in front of 3 people and comedians. No, let's go bark. Let's go get a crowd.
I think that makes you a very big asset in the comedy community, especially with someone that's just starting out a new mic and like a new kind of bar and like, is still trying to get the word out about it. Like the fact that you, without hesitation, make a point to just try to like hype people up and draw people in is a really wonderful thing. So it's nice to have people that know how to bark in our
Yeah, I
community.
don't want to bark because I don't want to perform for you niggas.
We've already seen each other's stuff
Yeah,
a
but-
million times.
Yeah, and comedians, we're the worst audience members. We're trash. I know I'm terrible.
I'm terrible. I don't mean to be.
I don't mean, it seems like the longer I stay in stand-up, the more I do not want to listen to nobody else's stand-up. And I think that's just general across the board. Even famous comedians be like, I don't really want to listen to too many other people because without knowing it, we're very receptive to everything that goes around. You gotta be. And sometimes without knowing, you kind of like emulate what other people are doing without even realizing it. I remember I was on stage one time and I was telling a story. I started to riff a little bit, and what I riffed was what I heard from somebody else. And I was like, ooh, that don't feel good.
I personally noticed that as soon as I started doing stand-up, I stopped watching a lot of stand-up. And there's so many great specials, like on Netflix, Hulu, HBO, and I'm terrified to watch them for that specific reason. Do you do that too?
So I still watch stand-up specials, but it takes me a while to watch them just because there's 2 types of watching I'm gonna do. Either I'm gonna watch it as a comedian and study, or either I'm gonna watch it as an audience member and enjoy. And sometimes those get intertwined, where I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy it. And I started enjoying it, and I realized 30 minutes later, I haven't laughed one bit. It's been funny, but I just been like, oh, I like the way he set that up. I'm like, wait, nope, I'm supposed to be enjoying this. So then I either have to turn it off, or I come back to it or something, because once you are the puppet master, you see the strings.
Always.
And it's just like, now I don't find myself looking for the laugh. I find myself looking at the setup, the punch and everything, like this. I wonder where he's gonna go. I bet he's gonna do this. I bet he's gonna do this. And I hate it when I guess it right. When I'm like, all right, the punchline gonna be this, and then they say the punchline, I'm like, know it.
That's how you know, like, you're really thinking
Yeah.
like a writer, you know?
Exactly.
And when you're watching other stand-up, like stand-up that you enjoy, and that you're actively choosing to watch, have you noticed a particular through line of things that you like?
My favorite comedian of all time, he passed away now, is Patrice O'Neal. And what I like about him is what I like about like good stand-up in general, like because people didn't like Patrice O'Neal because he could say something that you completely disagreed with. But his logic is airtight.
So aside from Patrice O'Neal, are there any other comedians that come to mind if like you had your top 3 or top 5?
All right, so got Patrice O'Neal, Dave Chappelle, George Carlin. Yeah, I love Carlin. Oh, that white man was so funny.
He was.
And pretty much everything he was talking about still applies to today.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I feel like that's how you know, like, that guy's a legend, though.
Facts. Man, he was performing in black and white. Like, he's an old fuck. Like, that's
He
crazy.
was performing when there were, like, still 3 bathrooms, you know what I mean? That's a lot.
It's
That's
crazy, man. So I like very smart comedy.
I noticed that.
I like smart comedy. You know what I'm saying?
I would say you're a smart comic. I think you've got a bit right now where you're talking about like dating bigger girls.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
I'm a big girl. Yeah.
Another thing I love about that bit too, and I do want to give you your flowers about this, is because I feel like any other person who talks about dating like bigger girls is almost always punching down.
Yeah.
And you don't.
Don't punch that. Cause we love big girl. You can make jokes about any demographic, any person, as long as it's all about the intention. Like you said, as long as you're not punching down, you're fine.
Right.
Like we just make jokes about the situation. Now, if you are making those jokes to demean, then it's like, all right, come on, you're kind of an asshole. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I noticed a trend with crowd work is really big, where they're trying to deliberately like catch bits where an audience member gets roasted.
Whenever I'm doing crowd work, I want a friendly banter. Like, you know, whatever's
Always.
fun is going on. I don't want to be like, all right, I'm going to roast you.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not nice.
it's
Yeah.
not nice.
That's another way I would describe your comedy. Like it's very intelligent, but it is also good natured. Happy-go-lucky guy, there to have a good time. Just like good energy, very
Yeah.
positive. Versus some other comics that might go in and their shtick is almost kind of being like Eeyore or just very like
Yeah,
but-
I'm about to say Eeyore. Ha. Oh, it's so funny because that's one of my critiques about the Charlotte comedy scene. We got a whole bunch of Eeyores.
We do.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gotta be deadpan. I be giving them whiplash in a good way, where it's just like whenever we go to an open mic, it'll be like 10 very low energy comedians, and I come up, what's happening?
And I was talking to Angie about this the last time we were at Duckworth's together, and she and I often get paired together where I'm the host and she's the feature. And I've noticed they do a couple pairings like that quite a bit with other comics, and I do think it's an energy thing possibly, where it's like, I'm not necessarily like high energy, but I'm also not low. I'd say I'm medium. And Angie,
cute.
also big hoop energy, and is
Yeah,
also like,
yeah.
what's up? I think also you and I get put on a lot of shows together too, and I do think it's a similar thing, where they're
Yeah.
like, it's an energy
So
flow.
I do the same thing because I produce shows as well. I like to take in consideration the room that I'm going to be in, what type of audience is going to be, if there's a theme or something, and I try to build around that. So what I'll do is I'll start with the headliner, and then I build the energy like, okay, if this headliner is high energy, might want to get somebody else that's high energy, or might get somebody that's low energy but got good punches to where they already have the audience like ready to take off.
When you're looking for a new venue to produce a show, what are you paying attention to specifically with venue?
First of all, do they already do shows, regardless if it's stand-up or not? So if they got like a live band, they do some shows that way. I always look for those places first, because you got to think, they already got a PA system. Not necessarily mean they have the idea set up for it, but they already have an idea of where their performance would be and everything. If they have regulars, they already have people who understand that we have events here. And then I just go in and see if they be open, because a lot of venues don't be open to stand up.
Yeah.
Because, side note, hey, all you unfunny motherfuckers, stop booking shows places if you ain't ready to put on shows, and then you make an unfunny show, and now they got a bad taste in their mouth about comedy. You sit your unfunny ass over there and let the funny people produce shows, so then we can keep it going. Okay, but back to what I was saying.
That's what I'm saying. Valid critique. So how long have you been producing your shows?
I produced my first show ever in the pandemic. I would say consistently 2 years. I'll say 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. What was maybe the first major lesson that stuck out to you with producing your very first show?
It's a lot of work because like you gotta think, you gotta book the comedians. You gotta make sure you get your budget. Make sure you get a budget, make sure you can, divvy that budget out to everybody. Gotta make sure everybody's cool with that budget. Then you gotta figure out what is a reasonable ticket price for the show, if there even is gonna be a ticket price, because some venues have free entry. So it's like, do I justify having a ticketed show if people the very next day could just come in for free? So then you gotta worry about that. And then you gotta do the marketing. That's the worst part. Now you gotta get it out there. You gotta get people to actually believe in you to purchase a ticket and actually come. Like,
Putting butts in seats is a nightmare, bro.
it's been so many times where I'm putting together this fly ass show and nobody comes. And now I just lost my ass because now I got to pay out my pocket. I'm just not getting to the point where I'm consistently getting people into shows, but it's been terrible. But stay consistent, everybody. Stay consistent.
I remember at one point you were hosting an open mic of your own.
Which open
The
mic?
one at the strip club.
Yeah, ha-has and tatas.
See?
All right.
Brilliant. So what are some key differences you notice between like hosting and producing an open mic and hosting and producing like shows?
I wouldn't say how much I care, but I care about all of it. I'm putting way more attention to detail for a showcase than an open mic.
Okay.
Because the open mic, anybody's allowed. Like, just come do your shit. Open mic, you don't charge people open mic. You come in free, you get what you pay for, because you didn't pay for shit.
Right.
Now, with a showcase, you're spending your hard-earned money, so you want to see a good comedy show. So I'm gonna vet the comedians. I'm gonna make sure they're gonna put together a good fucking show. I'm almost a control freak, because I want everything to go how it's supposed to go. As far as for the open mic, I'm like, okay, we got the date. Come on. Yeah.
And at this point, you're doing a show right now that's like monthly, right?
I'm doing an open mic that's bi-weekly.
Okay.
And I'm doing a showcase there that it just so happened to be monthly.
Okay.
But I'm not putting the constraint on it as to be monthly.
I see.
I'm just gonna produce it when I produce it. It's hard to get niggas out the house more than once. And then by niggas, I mean black people, my people. What I noticed is when you say, okay, I'm doing this monthly, it's easy for them to say, we'll go next month. Hey, we'll go next time. We'll go next time. Or they'll go and be like, hey, we already went. We're about next month. So instead of telling me to do it monthly, like, hey, we're here. You better come to this one.
Also alleviates the pressure off of you to try to do a monthly show. You can just be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It might happen, it might not.
What's been the most successful for me is a show every 2 months. Like, I'm still gonna market for that next show that's 2 months down the line, but it's not like, come to the show, come to the show, come to the show, come to the show. It's a lot more woo-sa, you know?
In addition to the mics and the shows that you are running and producing, you're also getting booked often.
This is my first time in years where I covered all of my expenses with just comedy. Then the first time I did it was by accident. But this time I was just like, boom, 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 boom. Wait a second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I could do this. And everything I did led to the outcome. I intentionally did it.
I feel like whenever I've gotten compliments from like audience members on their way out or something, like they always stick with me. Do any kind of like compliments you've received from audience members stick out to you?
Oh, you were better than the headliner. That's the one that sticks with me, because I fucking know. And people hate when I bring up my ego, but I'm like, you gotta have a fucking ego. I'm going to be a nationally touring headliner. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they was talking about how it's a bad thing to have an ego, and I don't think so. I think they are misconstruing what ego really is. They may be talking about an inflated ego. Thinking you're dope and doing dope shit is not a bad thing. Now, thinking you're dope and not realizing when you're not dope, that's the bad thing. You know what I'm saying? When you're so delusional that you can't see your flaws, that's when it becomes bad. Because I'm not perfect, but I am dope.
And I think also your confidence has paid off in like massive dividends for your career so far. And I was going to ask you what success feels like to you, and I think you've answered my question.
I love comedy to the point where I want comedy to fund my lifestyle. That would be success. Like, I don't have to be the biggest star in the fucking universe. But if I can do comedy and comedy adjacent things and live, what? That'd be perfect. That's like the perfect life.
Yeah.
Like,
the
so
dream.
yeah, that's the dream. Like I said, when I paid all my expenses in February with just comedy, I was like, oh my God, like this, it felt so freeing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I still had my day job, but I wanted to take a day off. I could.
What is it like living my dream? You know, must be nice.
It was only for a month. I gotta recreate it.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Somebody is about to start doing stand-up. What advice would you give to somebody that wants to try?
Do it.
That's it. That's it.
It's really that simple. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. And then after you do it, then come talk to me.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm probably gonna tell you to quit. I tell new comics to quit all the time.
Why?
It's a barometer.
Okay.
Because if you let some random guy tell you to quit and you actually quit, or you think about it, you weren't supposed to do this in the first place. Because how dare you let me tell you what to do with your life?
And also, if you were to talk to Thoughts Got Jokes 2020 about to go up for his first open mic and you could give him one piece of advice, what would it be?
Quit. Nah. Don't be afraid to fail. I've been doing this 7+ years and I've been failing up the whole time. Just try some shit. If it don't work out, try again. Tweak it. Try again. That's what all this is. All this is built off of failures. Like I said, I'm just not getting to the point where people are consistently coming to my shows. After I've had 0 audience members for months and months now, I got people who are coming out. So don't be afraid to fail. Keep going.
Are there any comics in Charlotte that you think are doing really great work?
The Charlotte comedy scene has made more producers than anything else. Before we had Duckworth, we only had the Comedy Zone. So people had to go out on a limb and start booking their own shows. Like fucking Kaya Allen. This motherfucker, she be getting rooms. I'm like, how the fuck are you doing this, Kaya? Jacob Manaluku, we got Common Market going. Starlight, Kayla Candy. That's the best mic in the city right now. Hands down.
Every comic I have interviewed says that.
Yeah, hands down.
Kayla,
Now,
everybody says that.
I'm liking all these people that are providing the space for us to do our thing.
We've got amazing independent producers.
Definitely a uniquely
great.
Charlotte thing.
Yeah.
We're just having a conversation, the mics. Talking about, hey, I got this place, I might start a room. Hell, I started a fucking room. But I noticed that you can use your room as leverage. So if you're a producer of a show, you can be like, hey, I put you on my show, you put me on your show. And then, how's the cake?
Damn good.
Okay, cool.
That's a problem. Self-control. That's a problem. Can't do that. Can't do that. I'm not gonna even look at it right now.
Yep. I definitely like the cake. I'm going to have to come back and get some more. I'm going to have to bring a young lady out here.
Yeah, definitely. The next time you have a business talk with someone, you'll be like, welcome to my abode. I come here all the
come
time.
on, yeah.
Say like, next week, national touring comedian, go viral, famous, like Kardashian, but famous. What is going to be the most ridiculous request that you're going to make as a famous, rich comedian?
I'm going to make a very frivolous purchase just because I'm a nerd. Are you familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yes.
I'm going to get me an actual Millennium Ring item, like made out of real gold. This is going to be big as fuck for no reason. And I'm going to wear it. I'm going to wear it on stage and everything. I'm going to wear it everywhere I go.
If there was a comic that you could like open for or tour with, it's alive, who would it be?
Andrew Schultz, because everybody hates him for being Andrew Schultz. I like his brand of comedy.
Okay.
Like I could see myself, aligning with that. So yeah.
Interesting.
So Schultz, hey, we need an opener. Let me know. You know what I'm saying? You can get the black fans back on your side. I know they kind of ain't really fucking with you right now. I mean, but I'm with you, my nigga. Let's go.
Wonderful. I'll send that directly to his feed.
Facts.
I'll
Do that.
I will do
Appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much for meeting with me.
You said you was gonna buy me free coffee. Hell yeah.
Of course.
Nigga, let's go.
No, but girl to girl, for real, I feel really, really, really lucky to be in a comedy scene with you. I think that you are really, really genuine. You're very, very clever. You've got big hoop energy that I want so
Come on,
bad.
man.
And it's always a pleasure to share the stage with you. So thanks for everything.
Ooh,
Thanks for being the best.
Ooh.
You little Yu-Gi-Oh dork.
Come on, man.
I love it.